Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Southwest Gamer, as we are here with the first and probably only this year mock draft for the channel. Um, we're only going to be doing round one. Maybe next season. This will probably be the only one we do. At least I do. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do another one, but that'll be if I have time. But anyway, so let's get this started. Okay. First pick, pretty simple. Pretty simple, pretty easy. I think that. Okay, it's unfrozen now. Pretty simple, pretty easy. Titans have been building that offensive line this offseason. They're building around Cam Ward. They're asking for Cam Ward. It is, in my opinion, pretty obvious who Tennessee's going with here, Cam Ward. The Browns, it's really tough because, for me personally, I can see them getting Abu Carter. I can also see them Abdul Carter, sorry. Abdul, I can't pronounce his first name. Abdul Carter. And then, I can also see him getting Travis Hunter. I can also see him getting Shedeur Sanders. So, but, I can also see him getting somebody like Mason Graham. Or Will Johnson. So, me personally, I think who the Browns are going to go with. I think the Browns are going to go with Abdul Carter. I think, in my opinion, who they should go with, maybe somebody like Travis Hunter or Mason Graham. I don't think, I mean, they just re-signed, as of recording this video, they just re-signed, not re-signed, but, well, basically re-signed, brought back Joe Flacco. So, yeah, but I think the Browns are probably gonna take Abdul Carter. As much as I think they shouldn't, I think Abdul Carter probably should go to like New York or New England, but I think they would do a better job of being there. The Giants, I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3 here. I got the Giants taking Travis Hunter. I think it's pretty obvious. Not obvious, but just I think if it goes the way that I am predicting it to go in these first two rounds, these first two picks, I think it's going to be kind of a no-brainer who New York's going to go with. I think if the Browns or the Titans get Travis Hunter, I think things could shift significantly, because at that point, I think, especially if Cam Ward is available, if no one's gotten Cam Ward yet, I think New York would be all over Cam Ward. I could also see New York being all over Shedeur Sanders. So, we'll see. But I think they just brought in Drew Lock. They just brought in some of these guys. I think, personally, they're going to go with Travis Hunter. Based off of this, I think Travis Hunter will go. Number 4. This is really tough for me. I think probably Will Johnson. Just because New England, they do need a cornerback. But their biggest need is offense. They need a cornerback. They already have their quarterback. Like, they have who they need at quarterback. But what they need are receivers. And they even got brought in, started working on their defensive line and stuff like that. So, I think offensive line is something they're going to work. So, probably, thinking about it even more, I think probably Will Campbell they'll probably go with. Maybe Armand Membu, but I think probably Will Campbell. They'll go with Will Campbell here. Pick number 5, I think it's pretty clear, not clear, but I think the Jaguars will go with Will Johnson. I think if Will Johnson is still here by pick 5, I could see Will Johnson going all the way to like maybe pick 10 before someone gets him. But I can see the Jaguars getting Will Johnson. They need a cornerback. They now need a tight end now that they've lost I forgot their tight end's name now, but I'm gonna go for them. I'm gonna go with Will Johnson. I think that's one of their biggest needs. The Raiders, as much as Ashton Jeanty may be on the board, I can see them getting someone like Tyler Warren. Like, they just got their tight end, so that makes no sense. But Jalen Walker is also one of those weird picks, I think, for the Raiders that they may take just to beef up that secondary even more. Not secondary, what I'm saying. Their front 7 even more. Same with Mason Graham. I could see them taking. So, I think they got their quarterback. They got what they need in that regard. I think they'll probably end up going with yeah, this is tough. I think probably yeah. You know what? Why not? Go with running back. Ashton Jeanty. I think they could probably take him. I personally, I saw his stats. I saw his how big he is and all that. I saw his size, how he performed. I see Ashton Jeanty not being what everyone thinks they're gonna be. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna state this right now. I would not be surprised if Ashton Jeanty does not pan out when he gets drafted, and I think he'll probably become a starter if he gets drafted in one of the first 10 picks. He'll probably be a starter. He could pretty much be a starter with any team on the board right now. He could be a starter with the Titans. He could be a starter with probably not with the Browns, but the Giants. He could be a starter. He could be a starter with the Patriots, the Jaguars, the Raiders, the Jets, the Panthers, the Saints. Probably not the Saints. Even the Bears. I think he can be, based off of his level of play. But you gotta also remember, he came out of the Mountain West Conference, out of Boise State. His level of competition hasn't been the biggest yet. So I can see him not panning out the way everyone thinks. I can also see a major slip-up happening potentially with Cam Ward. Maybe even Shedeur Sanders, but I don't think so. I think at this point Shedeur Sanders has been stuck here, hasn't been picked yet. That's coming. But I think ultimately the Jets are going to go with defensive line, and I think the Jets are going to take Mason Graham. Mason Graham's been on the board for too long at this point. I'd say he's going to the Jets. Panthers, another weird scenario here, but I can see the Panthers just trying to protect Bryce Young. I mean, he isn't as bad as everyone previously thought. He's starting to get better. So I can see the Panthers getting maybe Armand Membu at pick at number 8 to help their offensive line. I can see that. The Saints are going to be a weird one, because the Saints now, with with Derek Carr being now hurt, having a shoulder injury, and with Derek Carr potentially being out for the majority of the year, if not all the year, I can see the Saints in desperation mode take a quarterback. Now, is this a play to get people to trade? Maybe, but I think it's pretty accurate. So I would say Shedeur Sanders could probably fall just because, really, the Titans are the biggest glaring quarterback need. Like, everyone else here kind of has their quarterback, except for maybe the Raiders. Like, the Browns, I mean, I think Joe Flacco becomes the starter easily. I see maybe Deshaun Watson going for a week or two. Browns go 0-2, and then they bring in Joe Flacco, and Joe Flacco has another great season and leads the Browns to a playoff spot. I can see Drew Lock under... Well, no, Drew Lock went to the... No, Russell Wilson, I can see, even though I'm an Eagles fan, I can see Russell Wilson doing kind of similar to what he did in Pittsburgh. He starts out really well and then flames out at the end of the year. But yet again, he still kind of have an okay quarterback group. The Patriots, they're building off of their quarterback and, what's his name? They're building off of, I forgot now. But they're building off of their rookie quarterback they just got last year. So, Drake May. They're building off of Drake May. Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence. They have their quarterback. Raiders, like the Raiders. Raiders are like the only team. Jets, they have Justin Fields now. I don't think he's going to be much of anything. I think the Jets are going to be looking for another quarterback probably in the future. But, yeah, I think Panthers, they have Bryce Young, and I think they're going to ride with Bryce Young at least for a little bit. So that's why I have Shedeur Sanders going all the way down to the Saints. And with this new news coming out, I probably would have picked for the Saints, maybe like Jalen Walker or Tyler Warren. But now that, or even I'm probably going to butcher the pronunciation of this, of his first name, but Teteron McMillan, am I saying that right? Teteron? With Teteron McMillan, I can see him taking that too, but with this new news coming out with Derek Carr, I think they take Shedeur Sanders if this is legit, if it's valid, if it's not valid and it's not legit, and he is perfectly healthy, and this is just a ploy to get people to think that they're going to take someone like Shedeur Sanders, or maybe even someone like Jackson Dart. So, yeah, but that's what I think. The Bears, they're going to try and build off of Caleb Williams. So I think what they're going to do, they've already worked on offense and defensive line. So I think what they're going to do is they're going to work on that receiver group, even though they have an okay receiver group in Keenan Allen and DJ Moore and Roma Doomsday, who they got last season as well. I see him getting another one in Teteron McMillan. I think Teteron McMillan goes to the Bears. They get a receiver, and there you go. The 49ers. Oh no. This is a team in a collapse mode, I think. We're going to see a major regression of the 49ers now. especially now that they've given with the contract with the new contract with Brock Purdy. 49ers have already lost a significant amount of players, especially on defense already, just because their salary cap is not in a good position. So in my opinion, I think they're going to be in rebuild mode this year. Is this going to be a quick rebuild mode? Maybe. Is it going to be I don't think it's going to be a one-season rebuild. I can see the 49ers, if they can keep the majority of their players, I think mainly they got to work on defense, and that's why I have them taking Jalen Walker. I think they'll go with Jalen Walker here. Cowboys. Cowboys probably could have gotten Ashton Genty, but Raiders took Ashton Genty. And now Cowboys are just kind of left to wonder what do they do. So I can see the Cowboys just trading back. Trading to a team that actually needs to pick. I can see the Cowboys trading away. Why? Because they don't. They're the main guy they really would get, in my opinion, if he was still on the board, is gone. I could see the Cowboys and Jerry Jones's arrogancy trading back, thinking he's fine, and trading back and maybe trading it to a team with wouldn't be probably probably not the Browns. Maybe the Broncos on trade. So with this new idea, trade with the Denver Broncos. So yeah, I can see that happening, and Denver at that point would just kind of select. They already have their tight end, and select offensive line, and Kevin Banks would select an offensive line, continuing to help Bo Nix and continuing to develop Bo Nix. So I can see that happening. Dolphins, I would say probably another receiver for the Dolphins. Matthew Golden, I would say probably best receiver available at the moment. So, yeah. Colts, they are very interesting, but I think the Colts would probably go to take Tyler Warren. That's probably who the Colts would take, in my opinion. Falcons, that defensive line is not great at all. So Shamar Stewart is best available right now, and I would say Falcons would probably take Shamar Stewart. I think I'm saying that right. Then the Cardinals, Mike Green, maybe Derek Harmon, maybe Malaki Starks. McCallie Starks. Am I saying that right? I hope I am. But I could see them getting one of those guys, but I think they would probably end up taking Derek Harmon. The Bengals, they need anyone on defense. Mike Green, probably best defensive player available. Anyone on defense. Seahawks, this is another really, really weird team. I would say a tight end, absolutely not. I would say maybe McCallie Starks. Maybe maybe Mikael Williams. So maybe Nick Hamar, not Ham, Amanori, Amanori. I don't know. That's going to be a hard name to pronounce, but I think the Seahawks would probably take with their team. They got edge rusher last time, so probably McCallie Starks just continuing to get that defense, especially that secondary. That secondary was okay, so yeah, but like it wasn't like people are trying to compare it to like the next Legion of Boom level. Like that was like I do not see how that is possible, but because it was not at all Legion of Boom level. But Tampa Bay, I would say linebacker would be who they take. I would take probably, okay, this is going to be hard. Jared Campbell, maybe. I think I'm pronouncing that right. But I could see the Buccaneers getting him. And then you have the Cowboys again. Back to where they were, now to the 20th position. Fell down a couple spots. Had time to really think. And they decide to take Mikael Williams. He's almost next player available. They don't need a tight end really, so they go with Mikael Williams. Next up, you have the Steelers. And I think the Steelers, I think there's a lot they kind of need to work on a little bit. I can see the Steelers taking Jackson Dart. I mean, I really can see them taking Jackson Dart. I mean, I think their best quarterback they got on the team right now is Mason Rudolph, in my opinion. I think he's the best they got. I could also see him taking Amaron Hampton, running back out of North Carolina. I can see that. I can see them taking that. So, I think officially, I think my official pick for the Steelers, I think, is going to be, is ultimately going to be Amaron Hampton. They just got rid of Najee Harris. I think they still have Jalen Warren, but Amaron Hampton I think is going to be much better for them. I think that's who they're going to take at number 21. Number 22, Chargers, they got their running back now. They got the former Steelers running back and Najee Harris. So now I would say Chargers just that defense. I would say probably Nick Amanori. I think probably is who they would take. It's a safety, just get the secondary up even better. The Packers. I mean, Colston Loveland has fallen all the way to number 23. So that's really crazy. But I think the Packers need corner. They need all the secondary they can get. All the help they can get on secondary. I think they're going to go with Jared Barron. And that's who I think they're going to take. Jared, I think I'm saying that right. The Vikings, they also do not really need Colston Loveland because, well, they already got TJ Hopkinson. But Tyler Booker, I can see them taking Tyler Booker or Josh Simmons because offensive line. So, I would say to help, obviously Sam Darnold is no longer on the Vikings. It's now I don't actually know who their quarterback is. I forgot who they have now, but I can see them getting one of these two guys. But I think ultimately they're going to take Tyler Booker, best offensive line player available. Texans. Okay, so Texans, they need any receiver that can stay healthy. So honestly, give me Emeka Egbuka. I can see Houston grabbing Emeka Egbuka. The Rams. At this point, we need to watch on Colston Loveland because no one's picked Colston Loveland yet. But Rams actually, I think, may do it because, well, if Colston Loveland falls all the way to 26, I personally don't think he will. I don't think Colston Loveland will fall this far. I think I just mainly just forgot he was there until now, until just recently. I'm like, oh wow, he's still here. But Colston Loveland, I think a glaring need right now for the Rams is getting their front seven back in order since Aaron Donald has left. It's not looked the best. It's not been in the best shape. They got Jared Verse, who is probably going to be, maybe not necessarily an exact duplicate of the next Aaron Donald, but he's going to be pretty close. So I would say that spot kind of is filled as of the moment. Maybe Walter Nolan, but I think Colston Loveland is too big of a talent to pass up for LA, and the Rams take Colston Loveland at 26. The Ravens are offensive line. I mean, that's my opinion. So Josh Simmons, I could see him getting Josh Simmons. Lions, they would have taken Josh Simmons, but since Ravens took him, Gray Zabel, I think I'm saying that right. So that's where I think the way the Lions are gonna go. The Commanders, I think, are gonna get that defense in order as best they can. Get all the defensive players, maybe offensive line too, but I think probably Walter Nolan or Nick Swarton, Nick Swarton. But I think Walter Nolan, is who the Commanders are going to take if this scenario runs the way I'm running it, and if all these players fall. One of the most unrealistic things, in my opinion, that I've done in this scenario is put Colston Loveland all the way down to 26. I can see Colston Loveland being one of the first people off the board just because of how good he is. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Bills. I mean, what do you do if you're Buffalo? Maybe get Jackson Dart as a young quarterback that's rising. Maybe train him up under Josh Allen. I think if that was to happen, though, I think Josh Allen would feel a little bit too much of the pressure. So I don't think the Bills are gonna do that. I think Jackson Dart could go in the first round. I could see Pittsburgh getting Jackson Dart instead of Amar and Hampton. But personally, I think ultimately, the Bills probably are just gonna select defense. Nick Swarton, best defensive player on the board. That's who I have the Bills getting. Chiefs, offensive line. That's what they need to focus on. So their best offensive line player is Devon Jackson. No, Donovan Jackson, guard. So I can see Chiefs getting them. And then finally, my team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I think We need, this is glaring, we need anyone on offense. We have um uh we have Jalen Carter. We have Jalen Carter. He's still on the team at defensive tackle. So Tylecki Williams, maybe not. But I think getting someone like James Pierce Jr. or Kenneth Grant, maybe Xavier Watts. I think, though, we're going to probably get best defensive line player available, and if that's James Pierce Jr., I think that's probably who we're going to take. So okay, well, this thing is frozen again. Yeah, so if you didn't see it, my final pick for the Eagles is James Pierce Jr. So this is my official pick for my official picks for this year's 2025 NFL draft. So yeah, yep, this is my official. That's it. So that is who I got. I do have a trade with the Cowboys and Broncos. I can see that happening. But I completely forgot about Amar Hampton. Mainly because he was not like on the board at the time. But I can see Dallas, if Dallas doesn't trade down and Denver getting offensive line, I could see that too, the Cowboys getting. So yeah. But that might be one of the things, maybe having one of the earlier teams getting Colston Loveland. I think that's another big thing I would change in this. But anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe. This is probably the only mock draft I'll be doing this year. Maybe next year I'll do multiple more when I have time, when I have a little bit more time. But yeah, this is it. So yeah. I started a new channel, even though this is my new channel. I started a new channel. It's gonna be it's a Lego channel. So if you like that, I'll leave the link for my new channel in the description. I'll also leave the link for my original channel, my main channel, also in the description. So if you want to check that out, if you haven't seen it. I don't script any of these videos out. This is just off the top of my head. These type of videos, I don't script them. So these are just off the top of my head. So if I start rambling on, or I start doing that hesitating and saying too much and stuff, it's because I'm just thinking. So yeah, but that is what I would that is the video. So yeah, make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that'll be. Probably will be a recap of the draft. But yeah, maybe I haven't done a recap of free agency yet, and I probably am gonna do that, but I may not get that video out before May, June. So we'll see when I post, but yeah, just an idea of what may be coming soon. So anyway, be ready for that. I don't plan on posting too much on this channel until the NFL season really starts. Then you're gonna see a massive influx of videos on this channel. So anyway, just stay tuned, just stay ready and prepared for that. Anyway, make sure you guys like and subscribe.